I was born in Nepal, and my family returned to Australia to live when I was 12 years old. Starting over is a big deal for any child, but it seemed worse than death for a kid who was used to being the odd one out. Not many blondes in Nepal. With time, though, I warmed to the idea. I took solace from the fact that I would be the top dog at my new school in Australia. Despite being half Nepalese, I figured I would look like everyone else, and I assumed that I sounded like everyone else when I spoke, so I saw no reason not to be accepted straight away. In fact, I was confident that within a few weeks I would be running the show. How wrong I was. My parents were starting again, well into their 30s. They were building up their lives from scratch, a stage most people go through in their 20s, as we flew to Australia with the bags we had and nothing else. I cannot even begin to comprehend how difficult or stressful that must have been for them. When we arrived, we initially lived with my mother's parents in the Hills district in northwestern Sydney, in the suburb of Kellyville, which at the time could still be categorised as semi-rural. My grandparents had built the house, pool and granny flat with their bare hands, and after we moved in, my granddad made an additional bedroom for me and my sister. It wasn't ideal, but it was a godsend for a family making a fresh start. The granny flat was a simple demountable building with a kitchenette and lounge room and an outdoor laundry and toilet. With the typical naivety of a child, it wasn't until I started to visit my friends' houses in early high school that I realised my family was a bit different from the rest. My granddad, Jim, was a good old-fashioned, hard-working Aussie larrikin who worked for years for the local council and an engineering company as a fitter and turner, among many other jobs. Growing up in his house meant following all the rules my mother and her sister had had to follow when they were young. Keeping elbows off the table, using manners, helping with the chores, and so on. Jim was also a keen amateur radio man and had a huge radio mast. He spent most nights in his radio room speaking to his mates, other radio aficionados, worldwide via voice or Morse code. I would spend countless hours talking on the radio and watching him fix things, and I eagerly practiced Morse code to follow in his footsteps. Jim also had a shed where he would build his projects and repair almost anything that had broken. Even building a fully certified mini steam engine from scratch, every piston, chamber and wheel was handcrafted on his lathe. He would often take me under his wing and try to teach me carpentry or welding, which I learned with moderate enthusiasm, but have yet to take to.